Please subscribe my channel Wisdom After 60 and press bell notification.
Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Or maybe you've started to tell a story, only to lose your train of thought halfway through. You're not alone. As we move through our 70s, little slips like these can become more frequent, and while they may seem harmless at first, deep down, they often leave us wondering, is my memory fading? Is this the beginning of something more serious? It's a quiet worry many carry. We may not say it out loud, but it lingers, especially when we forget names, lose words, or feel mentally foggy. And yet, there's something deeply comforting in knowing that we're not helpless. That even now, with all the years we've lived, we can still nurture and protect our minds, gently, naturally, and with love. One of the most powerful ways to do that is through the food we eat. What we place on our plate each day can either fuel our memory or quietly work against it. Today, we'll talk softly and honestly about the kinds of foods that truly support brain health in your 70s. No strict diets, no harsh rules, just thoughtful guidance, rooted in kindness, wisdom, and the belief that it's never too late to care for your beautiful thinking, remembering mind. So stay with me. You deserve this peace. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to Elderly Echoes, where your health, heart, and years are always honored. Let's begin. There's something deeply sacred about the mind. We carry through the decades. It holds our childhood memories, the faces of those we've loved, the lessons we've earned, and the stories we continue to share. Our brain is not just an organ, it's a living library of who we are. But just like an old book, it can begin to show signs of wear. The pages don't turn as quickly. The words take a little longer to find. And it's in those quiet moments of forgetfulness that we realize how precious our mental clarity truly is. One of the first truths to accept is this: our brain changes as we age, but it still responds to care. The food we eat isn't just for our bodies, it feeds the brain too. And that simple truth holds incredible power. Think of it this way: every bite is like a message we send to our mind. Some messages say, "I care for you. I want you to stay sharp and steady." Others, filled with sugar, chemicals, or processed oils, say something else entirely. In our 70s, choosing food isn't just about taste or habit, it becomes about preservation. Gently tending to the garden of our memory. Whole foods, colorful vegetables, berries, nuts, leafy greens, and fish rich in omega-3s speak the brain's language. They reduce silent inflammation, help blood flow freely to our mind, and offer the vitamins and minerals that keep our thoughts clear. It doesn't have to be fancy: a small bowl of blueberries, a handful of walnuts, a piece of salmon, a cup of tea with turmeric or cinnamon. These small additions add up, day by day, feeding not just the body, but the soul of your memory. This is the first gentle truth. The brain can still thrive even now when we feed it the way it deserves. We've fed others all our lives. Now, it's time to feed ourselves with love, nourishment, and quiet intention. There comes a point in life, often in our 70s, when we stop chasing things and start cherishing them. We no longer want more, we want deeper. A deeper sense of peace, a deeper connection with loved ones, and a deeper trust in our own body and mind. But that trust can sometimes feel shaken, especially when memory begins to flicker. Misplacing keys, forgetting names, or searching for the right word can feel like little betrayals. And what's hardest is not the forgetting itself, but the feeling of being disconnected from others, from the moment, from ourselves. But here's the truth: no one says often enough, your brain still wants to work with you, not against you. Even now, in your 70s, it listens, it responds, it remembers how to be cared for. This is where the emotional shift happens, when we realize that taking care of our brain is not a duty, it's an act of self-love. It's not about fear of dementia or cognitive decline. It's about honoring the life we've lived and giving ourselves the chance to live it fully, with clarity and dignity. And it can begin with something as small as what's on our plate. When you choose brain-nourishing foods, you're not just eating, you're saying, "I still value this life. I still want to be present in it." It might be adding turmeric to your tea for its gentle anti-inflammatory effect. Or making time for a walk after dinner. Knowing movement supports circulation too. The brain, it might be cutting back on sugary snacks, not because someone told you to, but because your mind deserves better. These choices are quiet, often unseen, but they build. They matter, and most importantly, they give you back a sense of control, not over everything, but over the way you care for yourself each day. Because even now, your brain is listening, it's waiting, and it will meet you where you are, with grace, resilience, and more strength than you may even realize. Let's talk gently now about something many people overlook: the connection between the brain and the body, especially the gut. Yes, the gut. It might surprise you, but your digestive system and your brain are in constant communication. In fact, some researchers call the gut the second brain because of how closely they work together. When the gut is healthy, the brain tends to be calm, clear, and focused. But when the gut is inflamed, often because of processed foods, too much sugar, or not enough fiber, the brain feels it. That's when we experience brain fog, poor focus, low mood, or even anxiety. So, caring for your brain actually begins in your belly. One gentle step you can take is adding probiotic-rich foods to your diet. Things like plain yogurt, kefir, or a spoonful of sauerkraut can help restore balance in the gut. These foods encourage the growth of good bacteria, which help reduce inflammation throughout the body, including the brain. Next, fiber becomes your friend. Whole grains like oats and brown rice, beans, lentils, apples, pears, all of these help keep the gut moving, clean, and happy. And when the gut is happy, the brain often feels more stable, more focused. Also, drink water. Not just a sip here or there, but regular steady hydration. Our brains are over 70% water, and even mild dehydration can affect concentration and mood. Something as simple as a glass of water in the morning can bring clarity and energy. And lastly, limit foods that quietly work against your brain. Processed snacks, sugary cereals, too much red meat, these can create silent inflammation. It's not about guilt, it's about awareness. You don't have to be perfect, just thoughtful. Your body and brain are a team, even now. What supports one will uplift the other. And when your body feels lighter, cleaner, more balanced, your mind follows. This is not a diet, it's a relationship, a partnership with yourself, one that says, I care enough to make small choices that help me stay present for the people I love, and for the moments that still lie ahead. There's a quiet kind of wisdom that only comes with age, the kind you don't read in books or learn in school. It lives in your bones, in your eyes, in the way you pause before speaking. It's the wisdom of having lived. And with it comes the understanding that health is not just physical, it's deeply spiritual and emotional too. When we think about feeding the brain, we often focus on nutrients and vitamins. But what about peace? What about joy? What about connection? A healthy brain isn't just one that remembers facts or recalls names. It's one that feels calm in the morning, hopeful at night, and steady in the middle of life's changes. And sometimes, what your brain really craves is not more information, but more meaning. This is where food becomes something more than fuel. It becomes a ritual. A way to love yourself with quiet devotion. A warm bowl of soup prepared slowly. A cup of herbal tea sipped by the window. A piece of dark chocolate shared with a friend. These are spiritual moments, not loud or dramatic, but sacred in their own way. Because feeding your brain isn't just about staying sharp, it's about staying you. Staying present enough to enjoy a conversation, to notice the changing light in the afternoon. To close your eyes and remember the scent of a childhood kitchen. And, perhaps, most importantly, it's about being able to keep showing up with clarity, with kindness, and with purpose, for the people who still look to you with love in their eyes. Your mind is not something that's fading. It's evolving, slowing down perhaps, but also deepening. And every small, thoughtful choice you make, especially when done with care, honors that evolution. So let your meals be gentle prayers. Let them be thank yous to your body, your brain, and the life that has carried you here. Because brain health at its core, is not just about memory, it's about meaning. And you, dear one, are still writing yours. If you've stayed with me this far, I want you to take a slow, deep breath and feel proud. Not because you followed a list of foods or learned a new health tip, but because you took the time to care to listen, to gently ask yourself, how can I nourish the part of me that holds my memories, my stories, my spirit? That question alone is powerful, and the answers don't need to be complicated. A few berries in the morning. A cup of green tea in the quiet afternoon. Less sugar, more kindness. A walk after supper. A bit more water throughout the day. These aren't grand, sweeping changes, they're small acts of love, and they matter more than you know. You see, your brain is still with you, still listening, still healing. And with every nourishing choice, you're reminding it, I'm still here. I still have more to feel, more to share, more to live. There's no perfect diet, and no perfect path, just gentle steps taken with care, taken with hope. So wherever you are in your journey, whether your memory feels strong, or you're noticing changes, know this: it's never too late to support your beautiful, resilient mind. And if this video brought you even a little peace or clarity, consider subscribing to Elderly Echoes. You are always welcome here. Take care of yourself, today, with softness, with patience, and with the quiet joy of knowing that your story still matters. It always has, and it always will.